Hi, podcast listeners. Thanks so much for listening to Dysfunctional, a family podcast. I know a lot of you have been seeing what's been going on in the news recently and just the general disarray that the country is in. And both me and my mom were very upset about this as well. So that's basically what we talked about in this podcast. So I hope you enjoy listening, and we'll start it right now.
So I do agree with protests, but I think it should be more organized. The way that it is right now is just kind of like everybody running amok. And why tear up our own shit? Like, why you tearing up damn Target? Okay, I want some tissue, motherfucker. I need soap. I need toothpaste. I might want to get some socks while I get said soap and toothpaste. Like, why y'all fucking up Target?
Can I
Go
tell you
to
let me tell you my opinion.
yes. Okay.
No justice, no peace. You
I
heard that?
agree with that. I
No
agree.
justice, no peace. And let me tell you why.
Okay.
Because I was listening to NPR this morning, and most of the time when people are like, "Oh yeah, I don't care. I'm going to mess everything up." I'm like, "No, guys, don't do that. I'm on the same side as you, you know?" I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
we should try to talk it out. We should try to do something peaceful. We should try to pass some type of legislation. But how many times have we tried? Just in my
Too many.
lifetime, how many times have we tried? How many times have we failed? How many times have people not listened? So what I heard one girl say on NPR was from Minneapolis. She was like, "Black people built this country. We built it up, so we gonna burn it the fuck down."
Yeah.
And boom. So the way I feel is, if we burn it down, we could rebuild it up. Chinese people could build a functioning a hospital in 2 weeks.
But
You
we
know.
ain't Chinese though. You got to remember, Americans, like, I mean, we have a strong work ethic, but goddamn, we're not that efficient sometimes. Okay.
What I meant was, we can efficiently, if we are able to finally successfully organize and decide on what an agenda should be, not only for the Black community, but for all communities across the country that have been underserved and underappreciated by the government for so long, then maybe they could actually organize people and allow people to rebuild their businesses. But until then, if they continue to allow people to not only economically suffer, but to allow people to die in the streets,
Yep.
no justice, no peace. As long as police think that it's okay to just ruthlessly murder somebody in the middle of the street, as they have been doing for not even several years, several decades, but several
Mm-hmm.
centuries, as long
Mm-hmm.
as they think that that's okay, I say no justice, no peace. Now, do I think that it should always be a violent protest, or that we should be up in disarray all the time? No. But would anybody even be talking about this for more than a day if people weren't burning things down and flipping police
That's
cars
right.
over? The answer is no.
That's correct. That is correct.
So that's how I
I
feel
mean,
for real,
and
for real.
and this is not new. You know, they've been
It's not.
sicking dogs on black folks for a very long time. You know, this is not new.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so now it's like, what's the difference? And they're like, oh, there was something on CNN today. Well, one of the guests said, you know, when Obama was elected, everyone thought, oh, we have a black president, it's going to be better, yada, yada, yada. But then they say, you have to remember, one man is not going to change an entire country,
Mm-hmm.
from save the entire country from racism. Not one person is not going to do that. And then I was thinking, and that shit damn sure didn't work, because Obama was the most disrespected. They were calling him nigger, monkey, all kind of stuff. They were like getting mad at him over wearing a tan suit, calling Michelle Obama, you know, comparing her to a monkey and talking about her arms being out. Whole time Donald Trump's wife is a fucking porn star. Like, how is that even possible? How does that even, like, are people for real?
I mean, I know,
That's
yeah.
I'm so
At
over
this
it.
point, I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't really care what a racist has to say. I don't care what critique a racist has for anybody or anything. All I'm saying is, they cannot continue to kill people, and if they do, they will regret it, and they are regretting it right now at this specific moment in time.
Yeah.
And they're unable to get a handle on the country because nobody trusts the government. Why would
No.
anybody trust the government? What have they been doing? I just would like to know,
Killing
because
us.
especially in the black community, this is what I want you to understand. Especially in the black community, I'm coming from the perspective of a young African American female, where disproportionately my people are being slaughtered in the streets. We don't have the same opportunities as people. This is something I especially want people to understand. We don't have the same education and opportunities as people. They can sit up here and complain about what's that thing called where they give you like admission into college if you're a person of color.
Affirmative action.
Yep, people can sit up here and complain about affirmative action, but what they really do not understand is there are communities of color in this country and impoverished communities in this country that are undereducated and improperly educated and not given the same opportunities as people. They're not even given the same benefit of the doubt as many people. They're not taught to strive for success as some other people in other socioeconomic situations or in other racial groups are taught to strive for success. So if people are really wondering, what's going on, it's anger that's built up not just from police brutality, it's anger that's built up from systemic racism stemming back for hundreds of years. They've been tripping for hundreds of years, y'all.
Constantly.
Like,
We're sick of that shit. We are so sick
sick
of
of
it.
it.
And
Sick of it.
I'm truly fed up. I wish there was a Black Panther Party. I wish it was. I mean, there is not, but I wish it was. I would join that shit. You know,
Or
I just think like that there needs to be a plan. There needs to be a method to the madness. You can't just take to the street and be running amok and fucking shit up. That's
I
not gonna
agree,
work.
bro.
Cause what you gonna do tomorrow? And what you gonna do tomorrow? You know what I'm saying? Like, and it's still gonna be the same way tomorrow.
Yeah.
Those people are not affected by anybody storming the streets and tearing up Target. They're not affected by that because that motherfucker is sitting at home looking at us like, look at these stupid ass niggas.
Yeah. And you know what I saw? This is just stuff I'm seeing on social media, so
Mm-hmm.
who knows if it's all correct. But I saw that American billionaires have made $434 million since the pandemic has started.
And
Extra
that's
on
shit.
top. I'm not surprised.
Where'd it
I'm
come
not
from, though?
surprised. The fact that everybody's buying up all the hand sanitizer,
Oh
toilet
yeah,
paper,
yeah.
the fact that everybody's ordering things online now. Amazon's
Mm-hmm.
pockets are fatter than ever. If we
Mm-hmm.
can really just think about it logically for a
Yeah, I've
second,
ordered a lot.
you know,
Mm-hmm.
even though
Yeah,
they're
I've ordered
hiking
a
up the
lot.
prices of groceries and stuff,
Yeah.
still they're making a bunch of money. But
That's another thing. I'm glad you brought that up. So, you know that there's an issue with Black people. First of all, they were saying Black people don't get coronavirus. Yes, they do. Like that's a fucking lie. Coronavirus doesn't care if you what your race is. So that's a lie. So now they're finding out that a lot of Black people are actually getting it, and we're getting hit by it. The it's really showing the economic differences, the medical differences, between the Black community and everyone else. It's showing folks that we don't have adequate health care, and these food deserts, we're not getting good food. You know what I'm saying? So
hmm
how do you feel about that? I mean, because you are very health conscious,
you think
but
so?
but you are, you're
Hmm.
always fasting, you're always like eating right, and that's great, but some people can't do that. Some people are fasting
I
because they don't have a choice.
Starving, you mean?
That's right.
Yeah. I mean, I learned about this in college because at first it's like when you're younger, you always hear, and when I was younger and in high school, I went to a really progressive high school. So of course I always heard that there are certain people that are set up to fail. But then I didn't really necessarily understand why. I just heard people saying, okay, education is different in different schools. That I got, but I was like, okay, well, maybe they can become educated after school, et cetera, et cetera. It's not until moments like these where we see like basically the quality of your soil
Mm-hmm.
determines the quality of your crop,
That's
is what
right.
I'll say. So, like you said, there are certain people that live in food deserts.
Mm-hmm.
There are certain people that don't have access to good education, where they don't have access to, they do have access to education, but they don't have access to teachers that care about them and are willing to give a damn, basically.
Adequate
You
health
know?
care, where they have to go sit in the clinic and wait for fucking 3 4 hours before a doctor
Yeah.
is like even ready to see them. Like, come on, man.
Yeah,
Really?
and when you think
It's
about why
fucked
all of
up.
these things exist, when you think about why there's a disproportionate amount of low income and people of color, low income communities and people of color that are affected by these things, it's very clear that the treatment of people of color and low income communities is what's breeding this, basically.
Mm-hmm.
People don't care to build good grocery stores, and if they
They
do,
don't.
then they push everybody out to a different food desert farther outside the city
Or
where they don't have to look at them.
they price it so high that people can't get it.
Yep.
But then we turn around and we're buying Gucci and all this other dumb shit that means absolutely nothing. Me
you
a
know
whole time, and Gucci is rich as fuck, and people are, what I'm saying? It's just like, get your
yeah.
priorities together, man. Like, for real.
You know what I heard? I heard that stems back to slavery, actually. They said, like, black people, stunting and, like, being flashy and being sharp and everything. That
Hmm.
stems back to slavery because back in the day, they said if a black person was in their Sunday best all the time, then it meant that they were important. It meant
Hmm.
that they had clout. They were that guy on the plantation.
Yeah.
So that's kind of like how it transferred over to our community now, where everybody feels like, if I want to look like I have status, if I want to feel, because I know for me sometimes I don't even care about looking like I have status. I just want to feel like I have status. I just want to
Oh.
feel like I'm important. I just want to feel like when I walk into the room I deserve a seat at the table. And it's really fucked up that we have to make ourselves feel like that.
Hmm.
Like feel like we belong. But that stuff stems back all the way to racism. But you're right, that's one thing I wish that we would realize as a black community, is that our dollar and our efforts are very, very, very valuable.
Yeah.
Very
Yeah.
valuable. And I'm hoping after this that we don't just look at the government to solve our problems, because I mean, what they gonna do? Really, what they gonna do?
That's why there are several agendas, right? You just got to look them up. We can talk about it offline, because I got to find them, to be honest. But there are
Mm-hmm.
several like agendas to where, when I say agenda, I mean like plans for black people to, first of all, improve ourselves. It's not anything like taking over the world or anything like that. It's just like an improvement in what we need to do to bring it up to speed, so that we have an even playing field, because we don't. You
We
know,
don't.
you'll get paid less than a white woman or a white man would. You know what I'm saying? Like, and it's unfortunate, and it's not fair,
I know.
right? But yeah, it's kind of hard, man. It's difficult to live in a place where people plan your demise. You know what I'm saying? Like, are
Mm-hmm.
always waiting for you to fuck up, and always like showcasing that fuck up. That's how I feel. That a lot of that's how I feel as a black person. Like, they can't wait to show something that we did. Hey, look at it. I told you. I told you. Like, they're all bad. You know what I'm saying? And it's not like that.
What makes you feel
So
like that?
I'm gonna tell you why. So I talking to one of my friends, right? And I mean, she's a nice person, okay? So don't judge when I tell you this, but she is a Trump supporter. She's not black. She's a white woman, and she is a Trump supporter. I don't agree with it. She knows how I feel about it. But we're able to set our differences aside and still be friends. Well, one of the things that she said that just kind of, I was just like, "Are you clueless?" You know what I'm saying? So we were
Mm-hmm.
talking about um police brutality. It was just a couple weeks ago,
Mm-hmm.
right before Ahmaud Arbery was murdered. And she was telling me, well, there are a lot of white people that get I said, stop it. I was like, stop it right now. And I told her, you got to stop that, because And I said, yeah, it is. I said, but it is um greatly unbalanced. Okay. And I said,
Mm-hmm.
we are being murdered. And I was like, you cannot sit back with a straight face and tell me that you don't see this. So then we were talking about politics, right? It's not in the same conversation. It'd be like different conversations. So another conversation, we were talking about politics. And then I was like, oh, so I do know, you're a Trump supporter, okay, I get it. I don't criticize her for it because I don't want her to criticize, me for my choice. So, anywho, I was like, oh, okay, so, what about, this? How they feel about vice presidents and da 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 da. And she said she doesn't really know. Her husband just tells her where she's gonna vote, and that's what she's gonna do. And I was really surprised by that. I was a little disappointed, to be honest. I
I
really
mean, a
felt
lot of
like
people are
that
like
woman
that.
had it together. I don't know, but I truly thought that my friend was one of those strong women that
But
you
mommy,
know,
listen.
it's
So,
just
how many people get their candidates, or how many people get their voting preferences off of TV and stuff? She's just picking somebody that she really trusts to give her, her opinions. I mean, and
but
a lot of people do that. Think about what social media. That's just what social media is. That's what Twitter and
yeah.
Instagram is.
But it's
Honestly.
not just that. It's not just that. It was the news and things that we were talking about too. It was all of that. It was the fact that I was just like, yeah, and how do you feel about this? And how do you feel about that? And she couldn't really give me a solid answer because she relies on her news from him. So I said, girl, you better watch the news and see what's going on. You know what I'm
I mean,
saying?
yeah,
So,
I feel like it is really important for everybody to be a lot more educated than they are,
mhm.
which is funny to me because we were just talking about people being undereducated or not having access to education in some communities. And some people they choose to be ignorant because they don't want to make a choice or, I honestly, they might not want to admit it. They might not want to admit it, but they don't want to mess up what they got going on by choosing something that's not for them. And I mean, think about it.
Yeah.
If you were white and you were having all this privilege and you didn't feel guilty about what was going on, would you be like, oh, yeah, I want to take opportunities away from myself and give it to people of color that I don't know?
Mm-mm.
No, they're coming from a place of like, what's best for them. Before, what I feel kind of ashamed about at myself about was that I felt so scared to kind of speak up and be assertive in these spaces because I didn't want to come off as quote unquote the angry black woman. But now I'm realizing like, no, there's a way in which I can educate people
Mhm.
and be very kind and tell them like, don't talk about people of color like that. The same girl that asked to touch my hair and
Oh my god.
why can't I say nigger? I
What?
mean, she said it. I was like, girl, what the fuck is wrong with you? Why do you do this to me? And they will never be put in a
See, and
situation.
then I hate to say that, and I don't condone violence, but then people want to know why they get punched in the fucking face. Like they want to know why they get beat down. They want to know why they get monkey stumped. That's why.
Mommy, listen. That's what I told her. I said, you know what? Let's just stop this conversation right now because
Immediately.
there are people that would not be as understanding as I am about what you're doing right now, and there are people that would
Right.
get very violent with you for doing what it
Mhm.
is that you're doing. And people don't understand. They're like, "Oh, well, why are you so angry? Why are you so angry?
And
Why
she knew
why
what
are you
she
so
was
moved to do
doing.
vi-" But she knew what she was doing. She might, I know, it's okay, isn't it okay? But you
No,
know it's not
bitch, it's
motherfucking
not
okay.
okay.
I don't know why you acting like that. Why you acting brand new? And that's what I'm trying to say. They've been trying us for so long, mommy. And then they try to pretend like it's friendly. They try to act like we should just be friendly and just take it and have a civil conversation. I'm like, there has been no amount of civil conversation when it comes to defending black people. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Yeah.
They forever have they forever put the blame on us. And I was gonna do that to myself by calling myself in my head, the quote unquote angry black woman. But it's like, nah, we can't really be doing that no more.
No, I'm not doing. I'm not accepting that. I'm not accepting that
Mm-mm.
because when a white woman speak her mind, she's so strong. Oh, Emily, she's so strong.
Karen.
But when yeah, Karen. But when we say something, it's like, oh my god, why is she so aggressive? Fuck you, I'm not aggressive. She just said the exact same thing.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And it's like,
Yeah.
who the fuck are you? I don't understand. Like, I don't get it. The stereotypes, the double standards, all of those dumb shit. I'm over it. I'm sick of it. I'm sick of people murdering us. I'm fucking over it, and I'm not taking it no more. I'm done.
No.
I'm not taking no
No.
more. I already stopped the little dumbass questions a long time ago. You'll get to that point eventually when you'll get so sick of people asking you them
I'm coming up
stupid
on it.
ass questions. Yeah,
I have almost arrived. I will tell you that right now.
and when you will arrive, you gonna know it because you're gonna be like, look, bitch, and you're not gonna
You
feel
know,
guilty about it because it's a stupid ass question. It's like, do you wash your hair, bitch? Do you wash your hair?
and why do you care, and why do you
Fuck is
feel like
wrong
it's
with you?
appropriate? Why on earth do you feel it's appropriate for
So
you
stupid.
to try to touch me, to
Oh
ask me
my god.
invasive questions about my personal hygiene,
Hmm.
you know,
I
to
don't
ask
like that.
me
I do not like
invasive
people
questions
touching
about
my
my
hair.
race.
Yep.
Exactly. Man, the same girl I was talking about, I talked to her recently, and she was mad at an Asian woman, and she called
Hmm.
her a jungle Asian.
She's a racist.
And she was like, "No, but it's okay." I'm like, but I don't really think
No,
that it
it's not
is.
okay. She's a racist, is what that is,
Ignorant.
and
I
she,
think
and
I
she
think what she
tried it.
is ignorant. I think she's ignorant, and she thinks that she can say and do whatever she wants to, and and you know what, she can say and do whatever she wants to. But I pray to God that the consequences that rain upon her will reveal to her why she should allow nuances and to enter her conversations with other people. You know.
Well, as long as the black people that are around her condone that dumb shit, she's gonna always think it's okay. So if she's saying it around you, you need to check that bitch immediately. Check her immediately and stop it because it's just gonna get worse and she's gonna get emboldened. And one day she's gonna say it to the wrong person and get her ass whooped. And I
For
would
real
sit
though.
back and watch it. And I'm not gonna do anything.
I would help. You already knew what she was doing.
Put
But
that bitch
help.
on World Star. Yeah. It's just I don't know. You know what really bothers me though. So the other part is like when we speak too, not you and I, but my friend, like when we speak, I don't always want to have a racial conversation. You know what I'm saying? So I don't always want to have to do that. So sometimes when I talk to her, I'm like, oh girl, let's talk about something happy. You know what I mean?
Girl,
Now,
you are
you know what
preaching
I'm
to the
saying?
choir.
I don't
You're
want to talk
preaching to the
about that
choir.
bullshit. Don't ask me shit.
Yeah.
It's how I feel sometimes.
And ever since, see, when I have friends like the one I was telling you about before, like they'll kind of act like, "Oh, isn't it so cool that we're interracial friends?" And I always have black friends, and
Girl,
I
bye.
love black women. I had one time when I was in high school, this girl told me, I can sing really well. I have a black woman inside of me. It's like I
What?
have an old, I know, just some crazy. I'm like,
That sounds stupid as
what are
fuck.
you
Why would
talking
somebody
about?
say that? Like, what are you talking?
Out
They do
loud
too
to
much.
me.
I can't. I cannot deal, man.
Out
That it
loud
pisses
unto
me
me.
off. It really pisses me off. And then when I finally say something like, "Oh my god, why are you so mean?" I'm not trying to be mean, okay?
Nah.
But look, you're not gonna keep asking me these old stupid ass questions. We're not doing it. That's what I did a long time ago. You'll get to that point. You'll get
And
to that
then
point.
and then what's annoying about that too is like I don't like when people say that the way that people of color come off as aggressive or the way that we speak
Yeah.
it sounds uneducated, because I'm like, you sound uneducated because you don't understand where we come from. Right from this country, and our circumstances were bred from the history, the very racially charged history of this country. And you would understand that the reason why my tone might sound a little bit aggressive to you right now is because I grew up in a very dangerous situation
And you
where,
have to assert yourself.
exactly, where my life could be taken away from me at any
Hmm.
point in time. Gang violence comes from the same thing. Oh, you say police kill so many black people, but black people kill more black people than the police. Well, do you understand why that is?
Hmm.
No, you don't. So what the fuck are you talking about? Shut up.
Mhm.
Shut up. Our circumstances, the danger that a lot of people of color are in every single day, they wouldn't be able to comprehend. You know, sometimes I'm talking to a friend from out here because right now I stay in a pretty wealthy area in California.
Mhm.
When I'm talking to some of my friends here and I hear them complain about their circumstances, you know, I understand because, you know, they say pain is relative, you know, stress is relative. So I get it. I'm not trying to take away from what you feel. But sometimes I think, like, yo, if she grew up in my situation, she would have been slit her wrists. Like,
Okay. Long time ago.
you know what I'm saying? You have no real problems. So please stop.
Yeah.
Please
Yeah.
stop. And it's
Man,
just,
but they swear.
it's too much. It's really too much.
I'm sick of all that shit. I'm sick of the culture vultures. I'm sick of the double standards. I'm just tired of all that shit. I'm tired of people shitting on black women. I'm tired of that bullshit and then looking to us for all the answers. I'm sick of that shit. You
You
know, like
know?
I'm tired of this. Look, don't I'm so for real, man.
And this is something that I told two of my black friends out here too. I was like, what people don't understand is most of the time we have to be a lot more poised and a lot more careful than other
Yep.
people do, you know?
Mhm.
Even though sometimes I catch an attitude and come off as aggressive. I can't behave the same way around white people that I would around people that I'm comfortable with. I don't think they get that. I don't think they get
No.
that. I don't think they understand. Like, they're like, I've had some people in the comedy community be like, how come your voice changes sometimes? I'm like, you wouldn't understand because you don't know what it feels like to have to code switch. To
Yeah,
be born
you
in this
do.
country, but then be looked down upon or be mocked or made fun of because my accent, I guess it's called an accent, shows that I grew up in a part of the country that's not as privileged as your part of the country.
Mhm.
So, you know, they
Yeah.
just won't get that. I have to be different. I have to carry myself a different way. And that's why I'm not mad. That's why I'm not mad that they're protesting now because we've been doing that. But it shows what happened to George Floyd, what's happened to countless black and brown people before him, shows that it doesn't matter if we integrate or assimilate into white culture or American culture. It does not matter if we integrate and assimilate into their culture. They still will murder us. I mean, I know what you mean. I feel like if social media didn't exist, even though I'm
Mhm.
not even really active on social media, I probably wouldn't really know about what's going on either, to be honest with
Right.
you. That's something that really has made me feel like I should be more politically active than I already am. Not necessarily saying, you know, I should be in the streets rioting and protesting as well, but I could definitely at least, like I told you before, I could definitely at least take the steps to educate myself on the people that are going to be on my ballot in
Yes.
November so that, you
Yeah.
know, even if I can't vote for my choice for president, what about the, you know, the person that handles education in my area? What about the person that handles housing and
Look
low
up
income
some of these
housing or
judges. Look up these
the
judges and
judges?
see what their history is. Look to see if they have any racist shit in their history. You know what I'm saying? Like how many convictions, how many, you know, just look at it. Look at the trends and see what these people are doing. Cause you don't want to just a lot of the time, I gotta admit, I've done that. I'll be like, oh fuck it. There's a one judge, he's running, or you know, whatever it is, I'm like, I'm not gonna vote for the judges. I've done that so many times. I gotta be honest. I have done that, and it's real ignorant. And I did that. I should have looked it up to see what's this person's track record. Because that could be my family member going up before the judge. It could be me
You
going
know,
up before that judge. And if that judge is a racist piece of shit and has a harsh sentence for someone who's done something really minor, but then lets the affluent kid off after he done raped a couple people, like what the fuck? You know what
you
I'm
know,
saying?
that's what I
You gotta
mean. That's what I
watch them,
mean.
man. I'm telling you. Look
Because
them
mommy,
people up.
I agree with you. And I've done the same thing, especially since I started voting. I was like, who cares? Just Democrat, 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 you
You gotta
know?
watch
Because,
though.
yeah, that's what I feel like that's what we were taught, especially in the black community. Like, just vote for the Democratic option because the Democrats have our back, which is
Mhm.
obviously not very true anymore.
Not all the time,
Um,
no.
yeah. But, wait, you said you, oh, what I was going to say was, I feel like in a way, yeah, sometimes it's not the best idea to not know who you're voting for. But then at the same time, I feel like, again, the fault cannot only be placed on American citizens because we're not even taught how to vote. We're not taught
No.
how to research candidates. We're not taught,
We're not.
how to register to vote.
And a lot of things are word of mouth. A lot of people get their
Yeah.
info from like just the media only. They don't really like, go look up the candidates. They don't know.
And the media spins things
Oh shit, they
crazy,
do spin
especially
it,
depending
yeah.
on what side of the narrative they represent.
Mhm.
I mean, it's really insane. I told you sometimes I'll look at a news story and then I'll read about it on CNN, NBC, Fox News, and then that one really right wing site, Breitbart,
Mhm. Mhm.
and every single one of those websites will tell a completely different story from the last one.
See. Yeah.
Thanks for listening, guys. You can follow us on Instagram at dysfunctional pod for clips and some skits and stuff. Make sure you go out and you vote and you educate yourself on the candidates that are going to be on your ballot. Let's see. Anyway, have a great day, Sky. What? Anyway, have a great day, guys. Much love. Buck, 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 buck. I tried to do it like a Jamaican. Can you do that?
I'm not doing that.
Buck, 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 buck. Is that how they do it?
You sound like you're having like a audible seizure.
Buck, buck.
Like, what are you doing?
Shaba. What if I did that one? Shaba.
One.
One.
I like that.
Okay.
It's awesome.
Yeah, this was a pretty serious episode.